And then I will, let me see. Okay, that's working. What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here we get one more video. Joined today by a very special returning guest, Lawrence.
What up?
What's good, my G?
Let's get it.
Listen, man, we about to get in here. Listen, we just had an incredible conversation before this. It's going to go on the Patreon. It's insane.
That's our routine. Come here, talk for an hour.
That's it. But you know what I'm saying?
Get into it.
But it's a comfortable Sunday, afternoon. You know what I mean? Sometimes 3-day weekend. You know, shout out MLK. You know what I mean? I have a dream. You know what I mean? It's something special that when bros can get together and just talk about the things that we are talking about, you know, Absolutely. In order to enhance our knowledge in the conversation, bro.
Definitely.
So listen, we're gonna go in here for a second. You guys already see the title of the video. This is from a content creator I have not heard of. Shout out to my Patreon. This was suggested to me. Why black women act more feminine with white men. This is from a content creator called The Pink Pill, who has like 60, 70,000 subscribers. I've never heard of her. I haven't watched this video. And I was like, Lawrence, let's go in. Let's go in. Anything to say before we get started, bro?
I'm really intrigued because she specified, she said white men. She didn't say like why. It would have been different if she said like why black women don't act very feminine with black men. And it's like, oh, you know, whatever, everybody got their reasons. But she said, we ain't feminine with y'all. Well, we're gonna take it over here. Yeah, we're more feminine over here, and it's the direct counterpart. So I'm listening. I'm
interested. Let's see what she has to say. Without further ado.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Who Swirls, Chris Karazin. Hello, Beyond Black and White Elite, and I am broadcasting from our beautiful Pink Pill retreat location, and I want to just do a quick, just so you guys can see the beautiful beauty of it all. Look.
That shit is trash. What you talking about, the beautiful beauty of it all?
Pretty gorgeous, right? Makes a girl, probably would make a girl feel all warm and fuzzy and feminine, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about today. A lot of people complain that black women who have previously expressed masculine energy when it comes to relationships seem to all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when they get with non-black men, are so feminine. And it's like, I don't understand. Black women are so hard, and they get with a white man and they get all soft. They act different. I have an explanation for this, and when I explain this to you, it's going to make a whole lot of sense. In order for femininity to manifest, there first needs to be a sense of security that the woman feels, a sense of safety, and a genuine interest in her welfare. When a woman, no matter what race, feels safe, secure, and knows that the person that is with her is genuinely concerned for her welfare, then a certain yielding process happens. So femininity, what it is a yielding. It is an abdication of really your own self-protective energies. You are trusting the person you are with enough so that you can yield to that feminine energy because you don't feel like you need to be responsible for everything. You guys need to understand that femininity cannot exist in its real form unless masculinity exists. So the people who want to get on black women about not being feminine and being hard, I want you to go back to what I said at the beginning, that in order for femininity to thrive, there needs to be a sense of security and safety. So I want you to think about a Black woman's everyday existence, especially if she's living in neighborhoods that are urban neighborhoods where there's crimes, etc., inner city neighborhoods. Walking down the street, being all girly and feminine and yielding and trusting can get you hurt. All right? It is not the right environment to express femininity because these women do not feel safe. So what you're seeing when non-Black...
Let me pause it real quick right there, bro. So I moved the screen up a little bit so you can see it says safety plus security equals femininity. Now, what the content creator is saying is that what she's going to get to is to say white men provide more safety and security than Black men in general, in aggregate. If you were a Black woman in the hood, you need much more of an aggressive aura about you so you don't get taken advantage of. I want to hear your initial thoughts to this. I got my own thoughts. I want to hear your initial thought to this.
So I see exactly what she was trying to say, and I agree with what I know she was trying to say. However, the verbiage and just like the examples that she made were just utterly pitiful. Like I said, I know exactly what she was trying to say. Safety and security, you know what I'm saying? Like I agree. Like I think it's much easier and just wanted for a woman to act in her femininity in terms of like when the masculinity is present, you know what I'm saying? And I know like that is like what most women want, if not all, is that safety and that security. However, if you look at the title of the video, she said why Black women act more feminine with white men. From a safety standpoint, I mean, look at us. Like we're both large statured Black men, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at a lot of Black women, when they get with white men, granted, you do have some of them like the dude from the Kansas City Chiefs, his girl, you know what I'm saying? Like that's an NFL player though, you know what I'm saying? Most of them who get with white men is usually like the scrawny, you know what I'm saying, Harry Potter type dudes, you feel me? So it's like, I don't really see how that safety component comes in, because it's like, can he really like, if that's what she meant, like, is it like, can he really protect you type shit? And then in terms of security, I agree with that, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a large component in like a woman wanting to feel, you know, feminine. But when the example that she made was terrible though. She said like if you're walking in the hood, like if a 40-year-old man who looks, you know, weak and scrawny walking in the hood, he'll get his ass beat. Like it's not because you're a woman, it's because you look like a target. You know what I'm saying? If you can't protect yourself, you're gonna be a target. So I don't think that has anything to do with like women and men and being in a certain area. That's just anywhere.
I think you bring up fantastic points, bro. I think what she's trying to hit here is if you grow up in a place where you don't feel safe, said person's money can get you out of places that you don't feel safe. And if you live in the suburbs of a place where there is no crime, there's a lot of suburbs like that in the United States where there's literally no crime whatsoever, petty things if that, and you don't have to deal with and think about the things that you would see in your average hood, right? So the minimum requirements for you to feel safe, the stature is not needed as much. So at the same time, there's this broad brush of Black women being with white men and that being more feminine, but there's more poor white men than there are Black men.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because there's more of us. There's more of them than us.
Right.
So in aggregate, there's more poor white people than there are Black people from a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
What she's really just referring to is why Black women act more feminine with rich people. I think that this is irrespective of white men or Black men, and it's obvious that her preference is white men. But she's coming to a illogical conclusion based off of a supposition, because in aggregate, white people socioeconomic standards are a little bit higher than black people in aggregate.
Right.
Right. But I think the title of this video, for it to make a little bit more sense to me, is Women Act More Feminine with Dudes with More Money. And I think that can be true. But looking on the flip side is how genuine that femininity actually is. Because is this really just a hood booger that's trying to get out of her situation and she's acting a certain way with you in order to uplift whatever shit that she was born into? And then she's going to use you for your resources for a little bit and then leave at the end of the day. That needs to be a consideration as well.
Yeah.
When non-black men are dating black women who previously expressed masculine energy, all of a sudden seeming to just change overnight, is that the change and the yielding and the submission happens because they feel safe, protected, and special. So the energy that people feel entitled to having without properly expressing the masculinity is the problem. People want femininity to exist in and of itself, and that is just not the way that it works. The universe seeks a balance, a yin and a yang. So you can't have a truly feminine woman if she's not paired with a truly masculine man. And to ask for black girls and women to behave like soft white women who, quite frankly, have more safety and security and a sense that they are special, more so than black women do, is kind of unfair. It's extremely unfair.
I see exactly what she's saying now. Yeah, if she just took the race out of it, this video would be so much more valid, in my opinion. Because she literally just said, asking women, black women, like if she would have just said asking women to operate in a more feminine nature when there's no masculinity that's present is unfair, I agree wholeheartedly.
I agree with that as well.
But then she, to ask black women, because, white women, they're so much more secure and I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think my question, if I could ask her a question, I would say, you made a good point. I actually agree with the point, but why did you feel the need to specify black and white?
Race. Completely and utterly agree with you. If I was to guess, is in aggregate, more white people have more money than black people. I guess that's where she started the idea for the video. But at the same time, there's more poor white people than there are poor black people in aggregate in the United States of America. That's a fact. That's a fact, right? But I do agree with her point that she just said in that last snippet of the video. She said, you cannot have a truly feminine woman unless you have a truly masculine man. That is I wholeheartedly agree with that. Situations that you see two masculine human beings talking to each other and arranging their lives in a way for future longevity, I have never seen that work. Flip side, two feminine traded individuals trying to understand where they can take something along to longevity, I have never seen that work. I don't know if you have seen those type of situations work, bro. And I've seen them try to work, and I'm just like you're not doing a good job, my G. You're not doing a good job. You are too indecisive, and she don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Or she doesn't know how to relax when she gets off the clock.
Right. You
see what I'm saying? There's certain things that's in there that I think that but it's through conversations like this that can help us inform what should that structure be, because I agree with that point.
Yeah. Funny thing is, my stepmom and my dad, they dated in their youth, in their early or in their late teenage years, early 20s. And then when my dad went off to the military, they broke up. And he told me that in that period of time, he asked her I want you to stay with me, and how dudes in the military work, they get married super young and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But my stepmom, she wasn't down for it. And my dad said that back in the day, he definitely feels like he operated in a more feminine nature, or beta male, as a lot of people might put it. And then when they got back on later on in life, that masculinity component came in, and he was able to like truly operate in it, and now they've been together for years on since. So I've seen, like, you know how you said you haven't seen it happen. I've seen it not happen because of that. And then it be fixed later on, which just even further proves that it can't happen if it's like too feminine or too masculine.
That's facts, yo. You know, but we got beautiful things today, such as the internet, where you can see examples and hear from people that are not in your general vicinity. Because if you weren't raised with people to give you those examples, then you won't know.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, you won't know what the Pythagorean theorem is unless someone in school taught you. Right. Now, it's a different conversation of whether or not that's been useful in your life, right? But you don't know unless someone has unflipped that page in the textbook for you. You see what I'm saying? So, listen, I don't feel the need to keep on going on in this video. I think that she's made her points. We've made our points. This channel is the Pink Pill. I'll put a link down in the description box down below. Again, just to summarize my points, I think how she structured the title of the video and why you probably clicked on it was more clickbaity, but it's really just why women act more feminine around masculine men. I mean, that should have been the actual name of the title of the video. There's some components here within money that I could or could not disagree with, but it depends on the intention of the woman who understands how much of a bag that masculine guy has. Right. Because you don't want to get taken advantage of. I don't know if you had final thoughts, bro.
No, I agree. I think because she had mentioned, like, you know, low poverty neighborhoods and everything. I think if she did come from one, then it wasn't like something like how our city's west side, like that is the example of it. But it's not a lot of black people over there at all. Very low poverty or very high poverty rate, you know what I'm saying, low income housing and everything, but it's just not a lot of black people over there. But she probably came from one that was like full of black people. So when she equates the whole, like, you know, money situation and everything, she comes from a place of, okay, all the poor people here are black, and all the rich people or people with money who I see are white. So that's probably why she, you know, in her defense, I would hope that's what it was. I would hope she wasn't just, you know, dumb enough to think that only white people have money and all the black people are broke. So that's why we act like this with them. Yeah, no. But I mean, overall though, you know, like I said, aside from putting the race into it, I mean, shit, you're right. Good point. I agree.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. And a lot of those white people without money voted for Trump. A lot of them did. Okay. Totally different video, totally different discussion. Lawrence! I appreciate you, my G. If you got more time, let's run this thing back.
Let's do it.
All right?
Let's do it.
Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. I'll let y'all know I have a Patreon. Go up there and join the family. We're about 22 strong right now. 22, 23 strong right now. You guys are going to get behind the scenes. You're going to get outtakes. You're going to get my actual thoughts and feelings after the videos go up. And we all have clear, coherent conversations up there at a different level. Salute all my Patreon supporters right now. Okay? Listen. That's it. Let me just conclude with the voracious slap. Okay?
Let's get it.
Peace!
I thought it was funny when you did with Ashley. He was like, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, the one on toxic masculinity?
She was like, pardon the masculinity.
Pardon the That's going to be on a t-shirt, my G. That's going to be on a t-shirt. Coming soon.